Good morning. I'm Colleen Robbs, the Director of the Equal Business Opportunity Office. And on behalf of the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, we welcome you to our virtual Transformational Tuesday training. During this pandemic season, we want you to know that the EBO office is committed to continuing to bring you expert speakers to provide you with technical experience and business development tools to allow your business to succeed during this season. Today, our presenter is Karen Granger. She has more than 30 years of experience in public relations, working with businesses and nonprofit organizations in South Florida. Karen also served as a CEO of a local chamber of commerce here in South Florida. Karen currently is an advocate for the most 1,700 children in our foster care here in Palm Beach County. And she does that work through 4Kids of South Florida. Today, her topic is effective communications, 5 ways to strengthen your business in unprecedented times. So sit back, take notes, and be prepared to take your business to the next level with these important tools.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. This is awesome. I love speaking with businesses and sharing ideas on how to strengthen our businesses. So today we're going to dive right in and talk about communications to strengthen our business during these unprecedented times. So I'm going to share some things kind of from my own experience with 4Kids and my background with the chamber, and hopefully today you'll get a nugget or two that you can apply to your own business. Okay, so during this whole time of COVID, one thing I really want you to think about your business is how are you communicating with your audience, and think about who exactly is your audience. A lot of people in the business world think, oh, my audience is my customers and prospective customers. But your audience, the people that really share who you are and tell your story to the world, includes your staff also. And a lot of times you have to think about how are you communicating during these unprecedented times to your own staff so they're the best communicators for you out in the world, in the home, wherever they go. So I just want to share with you a little bit about what happened at 4Kids at the beginning of the whole COVID thing, and everybody had to, boom, work from home. Like it was new day. There we are at home. And I so respect the 4Kids leadership because right away they said, oh my gosh, how are our staff doing? And that set the tone for our whole communications. It was almost like that airline thing. You know how they say, put on the mask, get the oxygen, take care of yourself, and then take care of others. So right away, the leadership said, okay, team, do you have what you need to communicate? Do you have laptops? Do you have Wi-Fi? Do you need access to a printer? Do you know how to use Zoom? Do we have enough Zoom lines? Do you know how to use Teams? Should we add channels to the Teams? So right away, forming how we were going to communicate to our own team to be the best they could during COVID was really important. Then we went to what would be really our customers. So think about your customers next. How are they doing? Do they have what they need? Do they have what they need from you? At 4Kids, our customers, so to speak, is really the foster families. And we had to look right away, are the foster families okay? Are they healthy? How are they going to get services, for trauma therapy? We had to almost turn to a telehealth medicine kind of a format. We couldn't go out to homes. We couldn't go out to schools and visit with children and families. Then another part of your audience that you may forget during these times is how are you communicating what you're doing, what's happening with your investors or partners, if it's a nonprofit, your donors, how are they doing? And what are you saying to them, showing that you're still working, There was that time when people are like, are you open? And it's really important at your business that you let people know, even though they may not see you face to face, you are working, you are active. There is still a need for the project. There is still a need for your business, and here's how you're doing it now. Then there's the public. The public is watching you, and they're your great referral for businesses. So you need to make sure that they're your big audience too, the general public. Maybe they're not doing business with you at the moment, but they might have a good referral for you. They may be watching what you're doing. So it's really important to think about all the different kinds of audiences that your business has and that you communicate with them. So the other thing I've seen happen in my own business and in other people's businesses is innovation, being really innovative and thinking, what is needed right now? Ask yourself, what is needed at this moment? What do my customers, what does the community need right now? For example, there's an organization, Boca Lead, in Boca, and I encourage you to check it out because Boca Lead is Bill Mitchell has a one time a month, a lunch in Boca, 400 business people of all different backgrounds, government officials, pack out this room to a sold-out lunch, and he gives leadership tips to strengthen your business. Well, that sold-out lunch could no longer take place. So they said, well, instead of selling lunch tickets, we'll make it free, we'll put a link online, and our normal table hosts can just share that link with all of their employees and not limit their guests just to a table. So they thought leadership is needed, people need encouragement right now, and they put that link out on a website. And you know that first lunch during COVID, instead of 400 people standing room only, there were 850 people watching online. So their customer base, because of COVID, just doubled. And now people are telling their friends, oh my goodness, this guy Bill Mitchell is this great speaker. He gave me so many good business tips. And so that message lives on. So there are some really bonus things that come out of some of these unprecedented times. Now, you may think I'm crazy, but I wrote on my list to talk about Downton Abbey. Did anybody ever watch Downton Abbey? Very popular TV show on PBS. Well, Downton Abbey is filmed at a place called Highclere Castle, which is a beautiful property in England. And Highclere, much like this show, went through some struggles. Like, if you inherit a castle, how are you going to keep it up? How are you going to put in new windows and a new roof when you inherit a castle that's hundreds of years old? And the TV show made it very popular and helped bring in money with the popularity, helped bring in tours. People wanted to go there and have tea. So they started doing special events. And then they started writing books. And then they had a concert on the lawn. Well, COVID came along. You can't have visitors. You can't have tea parties. You can't celebrate veterans and have big balloons on the lawn. So Lady Carnarvon, the lady of the home, so to speak, has a following on virtual media because it's such a picturesque, beautiful place to look at on Instagram. So she started having virtual parties. And she would invite the world into the castle rather than selling 50 tickets on a Friday night. So think about what your business is. And I know with some businesses, it might be hard, I don't know what your particular business is, whether you're, a landscaper or a builder or in construction. But think of ways you can share what you're doing with your audience over blogs or videos. Because with a place like Downton Abbey, here it is a property that wants visitors. They really are engaging with their audience, like through teaching, talking about gardening, talking about caring for your plants, talking about cooking, all over social media. And that way they keep their audience engaged. So when business goes back to more normal, they'll still have their audience. For foster families, when we thought about what is needed right now, there was an organization, Food for the Poor, that gives tons of items to very needy areas of other countries. And during COVID, they couldn't travel. So down around the Deerfield area was this huge warehouse with what everybody needed: paper towels, toilet paper, diapers. And they said, what are we going to do with all this stuff? We can't travel right now. So they connected with the folks at Boca Lead. Boca Lead reached out to 4Kids. Hey, what do your families need right now? Could they use toilet paper and paper towels? I'm thinking, I could use toilet paper and paper. We all could use that. So we did what we called COVID care packages, and with masks and gloves, we went and got bags, and we literally ran all around Palm Beach County, out to Lake Okeechobee, you name it, everywhere where there's a foster family. And we did a ring and run with our mask and gloves and dropped a bag of supplies, because that's what was needed right now. And I'm telling you, what that did for our customers, so to speak, foster families, they're like, wow, we feel cared for. Like, they're meeting our needs right now. Another thing is the way we stayed in the eye of the public is 4Kids works with families. So one thing we're very good at is counseling for kids and parents with trauma, that have experienced trauma. So we thought, everyone in Palm Beach County is experiencing some kind of trauma right now. Kids are at home, they're not at school, parents are trying to hold down a job, working remotely. So we had our therapist do videos with tips, managing your emotions, how to calm down, how to manage schedules. And those tips have been going out to everybody. You don't have to be a foster parent. Any of you can go online and get these epic tips. So again, what's needed right now. Now for you may think, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do videos or teach people how to build or how to landscape or how to be a caterer or whatever. I'm worried about money. I've got to shore up, I got to make sure I can make it. And so maybe you need to focus on that. But there are so many resources out there. Groups like the Chambers of Commerce. I love chambers. I believe in chambers. If you're a business and you are worried about funding and cash flow, take care of yourself. Oxygen on. Look at Chamber of Commerce websites. Look at some of our government websites. Look for some of the classes, some of the resources, and shore up your business that way and take care of yourself so then you can go out and do good in the public. I put on here, do you and do more of you. Now that might sound really strange, but if you want to communicate to the world, I say, do what you always do more of it, and do it for other people. So for example, you own a landscape business, and you really want to communicate the world you want to tell the world about your business. You can find somebody that needs help with landscaping. Maybe a school needs help with landscaping. Maybe a homeless shelter needs help with landscaping. Do you out in the public and help people, because that's a great thing to communicate during unprecedented times, that you're a business owner and you care about your community and you're willing to take a Saturday and go serve and clean up somebody's yard or help with landscaping. You can take pictures, you can share it with your friends through an email or on social media, and that's a great way to communicate that you're engaged, you're still in business, you want to give back. Chef Blake is an example. There's a well-known chef in South Palm Beach County, Chef Blake, and he's been attached to, the Four Seasons and all kinds of great restaurants. During the whole COVID thing, he wasn't cooking. If you have a catering business, you're probably like, what do I do? So what he did was he teamed up with a local school and started putting together meal packages, almost like when you order, one of those boxes that comes to your home, like a chef's kit. He put together gourmet chef's kits, put them on Facebook for sale, because people needed food delivered to their doorstep, and basically told people, buy a box and I'll donate a box. So every week, instead of waiting for people to come into a restaurant, he has a place in town. You can pick up a box will be donated, or they'll deliver it to your door. So Chef Blake is being a chef during COVID, maybe doing it in a different way, but is still doing what he does best. Office Depot, for example, sells office supplies. During COVID, there's been a lot of headlines, layoffs, changes in stores, retail stores closing. And Office Depot has gone out in the community and has spoken to chambers of commerce, to nonprofits, and said, hey, our business may be changing. You may see some headlines that look like, oh no, what's happening? But we're going to continue to give to schools. We're going to continue to support teachers. We're going to continue to give because that is in our heart. That is who we are. And we are not cutting back on that. And we may be cutting back on staff, yes. And our business is morphing into other business channels and other focus areas. But we will always be who we are. And we will always give back. And we will continue to do so, and maybe even more. And I thought, wow, that is really a great thing to communicate. So from small businesses to an office supplier, there are so many ways to get involved in the community and to communicate that to all of your customer audiences. And let me tell you, some of you might be thinking, oh gosh, I have a business. I don't know that I have time, to do a bunch of volunteering or donate. What can I do? But let me just encourage you. One activity that you get involved with and you share with the rest of the world, they will know that you care. You don't have to write a big check. You don't have to get on a board and serve 1 million hours a month. You don't have to. One thing can help you feel good and stay healthy, help your employees feel good. You can treat a shelter to a meal one night, or just do a one-off, collect pajamas, collect diapers. One-off activity is a help to your community, and people really appreciate it. Words. Words make a difference. When we talk about communications during COVID, there are a lot of words flying around. There are words that are encouraging. There are words that are offensive. And we're living in a season where people are really on edge when it comes to words. Oprah, during this COVID, during shelter, isolation, works with who? Weight Watchers, WW, right? On Saturday mornings, she started doing a thing on camera from her kitchen table to stay in touch with people. Again, have to think about what's needed right now, how do you continue doing business? And she was talking about words and saying that whoever was living with her at the time, she had asked for their help with the project. And the gal, living with her, who is kind of like, not her actual daughter, but kind of like a daughter, walked into the room to help her with the project and said to Oprah, oh my gosh, you haven't even started yet. And just put her down immediately. And Oprah said, ouch, that stung. So we have to watch our words during these tense times. Florence Littauer, for decades, went out and taught people how to communicate, and at home, at work, with your employees, with your customers. And she talked about our words being they should be wrapped up in a silver box with a bow on top. Our words should be like a gift that we speak to people. They shouldn't be ouch. So when you're talking to your staff, even when you're talking to whoever lives with you at your house, when you're talking to vendors, watch your words. Let's try to encourage each other during this time. We live in this culture that I get concerned. It's like this culture of offense, And I saw online recently, I wrote down a couple of examples where a brand like Lilly Pulitzer makes bright dresses like this, put some kind of statement on Instagram. And it was we believe in justice, we believe in peace. And it was a beautiful statement. Their Instagram page got ripped to shreds. People didn't like it. And people wanted to hear hashtag Black Lives Matter. They didn't want to hear just justice or peace. And the staff at Lilly Pulitzer had to get on and say, hey, we were trying to put out a beautiful piece of artwork about peace and justice. We didn't think that was going to cause an uproar. So they had to go out front and say, I'm sorry. So words are like really sensitive right now. Kathy Lee Gifford put a Bible verse on her Instagram page, just encouraging, just to put a little piece out there. Ripped apart. You know, people wanted more words from her. So our words are so sensitive right now. And I think it's okay when you don't know what to say. It's okay to say, I'm not sure what to say. You know, but our words are really important, and I see a lot of words, people unfriending people, you know, and that hurts your business. If you're on social media and your engagement with the people that are watching you, your customers, future customers, your ambassadors out there, if you're causing more harm than good, that's going to come back and hurt your business. So I just want to say words really do make a difference. And think about words around your house, in the office, with your coworkers, how you're treating them. And when there's a conflict, nipping it in the bud. I got the greatest advice from a business coach nearby, Rita Craig, one time. I had an issue with somebody. And she said, one of the best things you can do with your words in business is approach that employee or that whoever it is and just say, here's what I'm seeing. Explain the situation. Here's what I'd like to see. So if you have a business and you have an employee that is taking COVID like a snow day and they're not doing what they need to be doing, rather than using words and saying, what are you thinking? You know, approach that employee. You know, here's what I'm seeing. You know, I feel like you're taking COVID as a snow day. You know, we are not closed. We are open. Here's what I'd like to see. I'd like you to report in and call me at 9 o'clock, or this would be better, blah, blah, blah. But your words can make such a big difference. And then number 5 is temperature check-ins, and temperature check-ins often. And so you're thinking, temperature, like what? I'm supposed to take my temperature and see if I have COVID? No, when I say take your temperature, I want to know, how are you doing? Take a temperature when you get up in the morning. How am I feeling today? How am I feeling emotionally? How am I feeling physically? How am I feeling spiritually? How am I tired? Am I depressed? Because this is such an unprecedented time, and however you're feeling is going to be communicated to your customer and your potential customers, whether you know it or not. If you're waking up very depressed about whatever's happening, finances, work, the future, politics, reach out, phone a friend, and work on whatever you're going through, because you will communicate what you're feeling. Take time for a bike ride. Take time for a walk. Clear your head. Pace yourself during the day. And take breaks. So I think it's so important. I recently, back over the holidays, my father passed away, and it was during the holidays. And it was like we got this devastating news, and we went right into, buying Christmas gifts and entertaining and making sure people are fed, and into, high season here in South Florida where everything's busy, 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 busy. And then along came COVID, and I was carrying this grief that I never let out. And it was affecting my business and my performance. And I was holding in thinking, nobody knows. Oh yeah, people know. And I literally had an employee on my team speak up one day and say, you might want to take an afternoon off. I think you have a couple things you need to deal with. And I thought, oh my gosh, this person is right. I am communicating a mess, even though I'm not saying it out loud. because that was like right there. It was going to come out at any second if I didn't deal with it. So I encourage people during unprecedented times, take your temperature. How are you feeling? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce her name, Esther Perel. I think I heard Oprah refer to her as Esther. She's a Belgian woman, and she's a relationship expert. And she was talking online about many of us are doing our businesses from home, and we're sitting in a chair, and from that chair, we're on a laptop, we're doing business, we're parenting, we're thinking about dinner, we're worried about the house, where's the kid going to school, what's happening next week, how are my elderly parents, and we're in this chair trying to navigate our whole lives, where we have no separation of space, no separation of time. We're in our yoga pants, and we're trying to manage it all from this chair. And she was saying how, unlike a hurricane, that you prep for, right? Everybody around SWA knows about prepping for hurricane. That's also a great thing for business. Help people prep and be knowledgeable for hurricane season. That's a great way to help the community, because a lot of you have tools and you know what to do. But unlike a hurricane that you prep for and then it goes through, you recuperate, or a tsunami, is a devastating activity. It goes through and then you rebuild. This thing is on us. It's on us and we're in it. So we have to really be careful and take care of ourselves and manage, our own emotional, spiritual, physical help, because we will communicate to other people whatever we're thinking. We also have to look out for those around us. We're business people. We like business. We want to be successful. But there are kids, parents, neighbors, employees, people that need to be looked after. And I think one thing that our group at 4Kids is really good at is we care about people. Like, our donors become our friends. So if we see on social media there's a death in the family, like, we drop flowers at the door or send a card or react to it. So we don't just look at social media like a bunch of voyeurs wanting to know what's going on. We engage and support people and care for people if they're having a birthday or an anniversary. And that's a great way to work with your customer base, is know their temperature, know what they're going through, know what support they need, and use this COVID time to really build relationships, positive, healthy relationships. And communicating healthy relationships is ultimately going to help your business. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you got some good pointers. And I'm sure if you have any thoughts or questions, Hattie and the team would be happy to help you out here. I thank them so much for doing this for business owners, because we need each other, don't we? Thanks for having me.
Was she just not absolutely amazing? Just absolutely amazing. You guys, please, wherever you are, just give her a virtual hand clap, because she touched everything that we could possibly think of. Thank you so much, Karen Granger. We have been friends for years, and I just wouldn't trade you for anything in the world. Thank you for making our lives so much richer and being able to see the importance of caring for people, and that small things really, really matter. Good morning, everybody. I'm Hattie Asbury. I am the outreach specialist for the Equal Business Opportunity Office. I feel like I have just been so enriched, like I'm a part of the audience. I'm a part of the business community, and I've learned so much and gotten so many rich nuggets this morning from Karen, and I'm so grateful that you were able to take the time out of your busy schedule to do this for us. We may just have you back again. Look at that. So what we want you to do here at SWA, we want you to stay connected. Please visit swa.org/EBO to see our upcoming events and our upcoming opportunities. Also, if you're not a vendor with us, register today to become a vendor and begin receiving great benefits. Visit swa.org/vendor and become a vendor today. Now, if you are a SWA vendor, Don't forget to keep your registration current and your information updated. Renew your vendor registration today. Simply visit swa.org/vendor. Now mark your calendar, for the next Transformational Tuesday will be on August 25th. Remember, stay connected, because SWA is the place to be. Thank you.